Hi everyone. So in today's session we will be going to discuss about the botanical gardens of a world. Let's begin. So what is botanical garden? It is a place where variety of plants are grown primarily for scientific reasons or educational reasons. Okay? So it is a place where variety of plants are grown. It may be for scientific reasons or it may be of educational reasons and they are open to the public. This is known as the botanical garden. So it includes ornamental plants around the world. Okay, so what is botanical garden? You can say it is a garden for the exhibition and scientific study of a collected species of plants, usually in associated with herbariums, greenhouses and laboratories. So it is associated with greenhouses, also the herbarium, and also you can see the laboratories here. A botanical garden is an area displaying a wide range of plant labeled with their botanical names. The botanical gardens contain plant collections such as cactus plants, succulent plants, they are nothing but the xerophytic plants. Then herb gardens, plants from a particular part of the world, and so on. So there may be greenhouses, shade houses, again with a special collections such as tropical plants, alpine plants. Alpine plants means plants growing in a alpine climate. Okay, then it contains visitors services like it includes tours, educational displays, art exhibition, books rooms are nothing but the laboratories, then open air theatrical and musical performance and other entertainment. If we see through the history of the botanical garden, so the world's first botanical garden was created in Padua, which is situated in the Italy in 1545. Okay, so the world's first botanical garden was created in the Padua, which is situated in Italy. So it still preserves its original layout, a circular central plot symbolizing the world. Okay, then surrounded by a ring of water. So the garden is surrounded by the ring of the water, and the other elements were added later. Other elements means the architectural infrastructure of the botanical gardens, and it continues to serve its original purpose as a center of scientific research. These botanical gardens play a vital role throughout the history in communication and exchange not only the ideas and concepts but also the plants and knowledge. So this botanical garden, it preserves its original layout, a circular central plot symbolizing the world. Okay, so the circular central plot, it symbolizes the world, and it is surrounded by the ring of water representing the ocean. The plan was perfect circle with a large square which is subdivided into four units by orthogonal paths. Orthogonal paths means independent paths. Okay, then it is designed according to the main cardinal directions means, so we know the 4 points of the compass, they are north, south, east and west. Okay, so it was designed according to the cardinal directions, and these four entrances were redesigned in the year 1704. And there are two important collections in the botanical gardens of the Padua. They are a library as well as the herbarium. The library that contains more than 50,000 volumes and manuscripts of the historical and bibliography. Bibliography means a list of sources used for the study. And the herbarium, which is the second most extensive in the Italy. Its herbarium and the library continue to be among the most important in the world. It has made a profound contribution to development of many modern scientific disciplines, notably in botany, medicine, ecology and pharmacy. So this was about the history of the botanical garden. Next, what types of plants can be grown in the botanical garden? So you can see we can grow xerophytic plants, herb gardens, greenhouses, shade houses, tropical plants can be grown, medicinal plants, aromatic plants can be grown, and other exotic plants can be grown in the botanical garden. So, these are the types of the plants which can be grown in the botanical gardens. Then who is responsible for the botanical garden? So we know that botanical gardens are run by the universities or other scientific research organization. So who are responsible here? Universities are responsible, and also the scientific research organizations. Okay. Then it is also associated by the herbaria and research program centers. Then who are responsible again here? Research center programs are also responsible. Then herbaria centers are also responsible for the botanical gardens, and the main responsible is by the public. So the main role is to maintain the documented collections of the living plants for the purpose of the scientific research and the conservation, display purpose, and education purpose. Although we can say that universities, scientific research organization, herbaria center, and research programmers, and also by the public. So these all are responsible for the botanical gardens. Okay. So next, moving towards the next slide, that is the functions of the botanical gardens. So there are many functions. We will discuss one by one. The first one, that is scientific research. The botanical gardens are good locations for many branches of the scientific research. Then, botanical gardens not only serve as a taxonomy and systematic research centers, but they also play an important role as a valuable source of plant ecology data collections, such as the phenological indications of climate change. Phenological indications means what? Phenological means it is a study of periodic events in biological life cycles. Okay, it is a study of periodic events in biological life cycles. Then it also helps in plant physiology, it also helps in plant growth and animal interaction. So the botanical gardens are suitable locations for the investigation into the pollination ecology, seed dispersal, plant conservation, genetics, and neutralization of the alien species. Okay. Second one, that is herbarium and library. We know that several botanical gardens have a herbaria and libraries as an integral part of the botanical garden. So they offer a taxonomic materials for the research and the education purpose. Third one, that is conservation and utilization. The living plants are the collections of the main contributions of the botanical gardens. So the living plants are the collections which are made by the botanical gardens. So they are the main contributions of the botanical gardens. So the conservation of the living plants in the botanical gardens, especially the species which are threatened species. Threatened species means species which are critically endangered. And the ex situ conservation is defined as the conservation of the components of the biological diversity outside their natural habitats. Okay, so the ex situ conservation, which plays an important role in saving the threatened plant species, is generally associated with the botanical gardens. And the major objectives of the botanical gardens is to create and support collections of the native taxa. That is, native taxa means collection of the native plants, and to build the main stocks of the plants for the ex situ conservation and sustainable utilization of the plant resources in the world. Sustainable means able to maintain. Okay, and the basic framework of the integrated plant species conservation in a botanical garden includes identification and management of the threats, that is the management of the endangered species, and along the term of the ex situ or the in situ germplasm storage. Germplasm means living tissues from which the plant can be grown, that is the germplasm. Then the research and the development, information management, horticulture, and the living collections, conservation priorities, and the environmental educations also play an important role in the conservation and utilization. Next one, that is seed exchange. So what is this seed exchange? It is nothing but the exchange of the seeds from different plants. So the seeds can be exchanged to the farmers, horticultures, and even to the public. Okay, so more than 500 botanical gardens of the world operate an informal seed exchange scheme. So the seeds can be exchanged to the public. Okay, then the next one, that is education. Education means in botanical gardens, collection of the plants are displayed according to the families, genera, and habitats, and can be used for the instruction and the demonstration purposes. So, the botanical gardens also provide information to the public about the identification of the native and exotic plant species. Methods of the propagation can be known by the botanical gardens also, and supply plant materials for the educational purpose. Next one, that is aesthetic appeal. Aesthetic means what? It is a people appreciation of the beautiful things. So people appreciating the beauty of the botanical gardens, we can say. So as the botanical gardens harbor large collections of the native and exotic plants, they have aesthetic appeal. Okay, aesthetic means attraction, or you can say appreciation of the beautiful things of the botanical garden. Then the botanical garden attract large number of the visitors for observation of the general plant diversity as well as the exotic and curious about the plant species. So okay, so these are the functions of the botanical gardens. Moving towards the main concept of this session, that is botanical gardens around the world. So there are many botanical gardens. So I have only taken 8 botanical gardens. So the most important 8 botanical gardens of the world, they are first one, that is Royal Botanical Garden, Kew, which is situated in England. So, this World Heritage Site is situated in southwest London and surely one of the best tourist attraction in London. It covers the area of 132 hectares, or you can say 330 acre, and has collection of more than 50,000 varieties of living plants. So the Kew Botanical Garden, it is having more than 50,000 varieties of the living plants. And the herbarium which is present in the Kew Garden, it is the largest herbarium center in the world, and it is having 7 million preserved plant specimens. Okay, so it is having 7 million preserved plant specimens. And then nowhere does the botanical garden than the Kew Gardens, which boast the largest and most diverse botanical collections in the world. And it is opened since in 1759 in the London Garden. And then here you can see plants like carnivorous plants like Venus flytrap and xerophytic plants, and also the Victoria Amazicana, the world's largest water lilies, can be grown in the Royal Botanical Garden, Kew. Okay, and you can also see the giant redwood trees in the botanical garden. So this was about the Royal Botanical Garden, Kew, which is situated in the England. Second one, that is the Singapore Botanic Garden. So this is situated in the Singapore, and this 160-year-old botanic garden is located in the Singapore. So it's surely one of the best botanical gardens in the world, and that spans over an area of 82 hectares with a linear distance of 2.5 kilometers. So it is having an area 82 hectares, and distance is around 2.5 kilometers. And moreover, it has more than 1200 orchid species, and a park for the children's, an evolution garden, and ginger gardens, rainforest, and also much more. And you can also see the bonsai gardens, 1000 wild species of the plants, 2000 hybrid plants, and they all are organized in the colored zones. Here in this garden, you can see a pair of swans which comes from the Netherlands. Swans are nothing but the birds, or you can say it as a goose or white colored birds in the normal language. And then here there is a presence of 2000 hybrid species, as I said, and a plus series of the special tools and gadgets to ensure the right humidity are also present in this botanical gardens. Third one, that is Jardim Botanico Rio de Janeiro, which is situated in the Brazil. This botanical garden is situated at the district of Jardim Botanico in the south zone of Rio de Janeiro. So it displays a variety of more than 7,000 species in an area of 54 hectares. Apart from showing the Brazilian and foreign flora, it also houses historical and artistic monuments. One of the main highlighting features of the garden is 800-yard long of towering royal palm trees, and you can enjoy some peace and praise the nature's beauty at the park. The entry fees for the different age of the groups lies between 7 to 15 reals. Reals are nothing but the units of the Brazilian. So so we all know that the Brazilian, it is having a Jesus Christ statue. Okay, so it is the seventh wonder of the world, and under the foot of the Corcovado mountain you will find this botanical garden. So you can see here, so here there is a statue of the Jesus Christ or the Christ Remedier. So under this mountain, so this is the mountain known as the Corcovado mountain. Okay, so under the foot of the Corcovado mountain, this botanical garden is located. The Jardim Botanico offers a fully immersive rainforest experience in the heart of the city with monkeys, palm trees, and over 140 species of exotic birds. And here, only 40% of the plants are cultivated, and with the rest of the space populated by the natural vegetation and organic forest from the mountain. Okay, so this was about the Jardim Botanico Rio de Janeiro Botanical Garden, which is situated in the Brazil. Fourth one, that is Arctic Alpine Botanical Garden Tromsø, which is situated in Norway. So it is the world's northernmost botanical garden. So the namesake display at the Arctic Alpine Botanical Garden makes for one of the most unusual gardens in the world, capturing nature as its victory in adverse conditions. Here you can see the bright flowers growing from the craggy rocks. Craggy rocks are nothing but the rough textured rocks. Okay, so the flowers which are growing from the rough textured rocks, they will grow until the rock will end. Okay, so where the land ends, so these flowers will grow until where the land ends, and the flowering season is from May to until the first snow, that is October. So from May to October you can see the flowering season here. And as the climate change affects the Arctic ecology, there is no long how the plants will bloom like this again. And here you can see the rhododendron valley. Rhododendron means one of the flowering plants, flowering family. And here you can see this family during the season of the June. Fifth one, that is Kristen Bosch National Botanical Garden, Cape Town, which is situated in the South Africa. So this botanical garden is located in eastern slope of the Table Mountain in Cape Town in South Africa, and it is having 528 hectares area of the botanical garden includes a cultivated garden and the nature reservoir. Ever since it was found in 1913, it preserved the flora of the South Africa, and so the garden includes many rare and endangered plant species. And here, children under 6 are free to enter the premises, while the South African students with a valid card, that is the student card, have to pay R25. R is nothing but the official currency of the South Africa. So here in the Christenbosch, this botanical garden is one of the world's most biodiverse garden and a leader in the conservation of the science. Here, the large area contains the incredible forms of the flora and near endangered plants that have been cultivated since the early 90s, and explores the ground level or from the above along the boom slang. Boom slang is nothing but, here you can see, they are the South African tree snakes. Okay, so they are having the boom slangs and a tree top walkway. Tree top walkway means, here you can see the image. So the trees are cut at the middle to make a pathway, so you can walk there. So this was about the Kirstenbosch National Botanical Garden, which is situated in the South Africa. Sixth one, that is the New York Botanical Garden, which is situated in the New York City. And the botanical garden area is here. It is having 250-acre land, and we know that New York is a for nature lovers to enjoy the seasonal plant varieties. Here, the visitors can discover indoor rainforest, deserts, a river, and waterfalls, also the rolling green hills. The image you are seeing here, it is the vintage crystal palace. Okay, so in this palace you will see 50 gardens within the vintage crystal palace only. So the vintage palace is having more 50 gardens in that only. And here the enter fee for the adults more than 13 plus, it is having $20, and for 2 to 12 it is having $8, and it goes up to $25 for the adults, and $10 for the children's also sometimes. And the New York Botanical Garden remains open all the weekends from the 10 a.m. to the 6 p.m. expected on the Mondays. Seventh one, that is Missouri Botanical Garden, St. Lucie, which is situated in Missouri. So it was established in 1859 by a merchant known as Henry Shaw. So here there is a present of herbarium center in this garden. So the herbarium featuring a collection of a preserved plant data, which is often central focus for the scientific study. And this botanical garden is having 79 acre of the land, and it's very rich in its horticulture display, which includes the indoor demonstration and conservatories and international gardens. It's home for more than 4,800 trees. Okay, and here you can see 4,800 trees in this garden. And the garden holds a series of events and also has some dining hotels for the visitors to enjoy. And there are three gardens within the premises of this botanical garden. They are the first one is Tower Grove House and Herb Garden, second one Glandney Rose Garden, third one English Woodland Garden. So these are the three premises which you can see in this botanical garden. Okay, and the hours for the admission, that is the time for the botanical garden is it opens at the 9 a.m. and it closes at 5 p.m. And the entry fees is of $14 for the people above 13 age, and free entry for the below age. So this was about the Missouri Botanical Garden, St. Lucie, which is situated in Missouri. The last one, that is Desert Botanical Garden, Phoenix, which is situated in Arizona. The Desert Botanical Garden, as the name suggests, focuses on the drought tolerant plants. Okay, so it focuses on the drought tolerant plants adapting to the desert conditions from the Australia, California, and also the South America. So the total area expands up to 140 acres and displays a variety of plants like Acacia family, which are the xerophytic plants, you can say. Okay, so the Acacia families, Leguminosae families, and the cactus are seen in this botanical garden. So there are 379 species are rare endangered species in this botanical garden, and also you can see the hummingbirds are present in this garden. Usually the admission fees for the adults ranges between 24 to $29.95, whereas for the youth which are who are having the age of 3 to 17, it ranges between 12 to $15.95. And this botanical gardens opens at 8 a.m. and closes at 4 p.m. Not only does the 140-acre desert botanical garden have a spectacular vista, the world's biggest outdoor desert plant collection, but it's having also the sunny home for the extraordinary amount of living creatures. You have just got to know that to spot them in this botanical garden. So it is one of the world's biggest outdoor desert plant collections. So this was all about the botanical garden of a desert botanical garden Phoenix, which is present in the Arizona. So here the most dominant plants are Acaceae, Leguminaceae families, Cactaceae. All the xerophytic or succulent plants are seen here, and also you can see the wildflowers here. So it's a home for 379 species of the rare endangered species. Okay, so it is the world's biggest outdoor desert plant collection, which is present only in the Desert Botanical Garden Phoenix in Arizona. So this was all about the botanical gardens of the world. I hope you guys understood well. Thank you.